time since I've been able to come back. It's been a long time.
So here we go, man. I told you guys we were going to actually be doing this quick campaign. We're actually finishing up the Blood Crystal Crusade that we did, and we're going to be doing a Space Hulk mission here. So I just wanted to share with you. I showed you guys the terrain that I've been building, and even though we don't have it painted yet, we're going to go ahead and do the mission anyway. Plaguewind is here from Virginia, so he drove about 5 hours to come here, so we can't waste a lot of time.
I want to play.
So we're going to play. So here's what we got. So
I want to play.
Continuing the story, man. What we got is I got my captain here, Austin Leonidas. He is stepping in for Captain Cassigen because we have shifted to space, away from the planet and into space. The Death Guard is bringing in reinforcements, and they have infiltrated the Flesh Terror Strike Force, and so the Flesh Terror's strike cruiser. So the Flesh Terrors are going to be deployed throughout the strike cruiser, and the Death Guard's strike force, led by...
This is Thanatos. Hi, everybody. This is Thanatos, and the guys in the original Death Guard colors, this is the first Blighted, and the guys that are in the darker green, that is the Black Plague.
There you go. Right, so these guys are going to be deep striking onto the Flesh Terror Strike Cruiser, and so we're gonna have the fighting in space, man. And Leonidas is actually trying to get to the planet to provide support to the ground forces for the final battle, the final apocalypse battle we're gonna be doing. But Thanatos has made a bold move. So we're going to get it on. We're going to go ahead and get it started. We're going to get the deployment done, and we'll get back. All right, guys, we just finished our deployment, and man, it's real interesting. I'm going to just kind of pan around so you guys can see. The Flesh Terrors have four rooms that we currently own, and the way that we're doing this is the one who controls the most rooms who controls the majority of the ship will win. So we have 6 rooms. The Death Guard has one. They were all numbered 1 through 6, and we did a random deployment to see who will be where. And we have a rule here where Terminators can only team up in groups of 3, no more than that. So the Death Guard pretty much kind of took a strategic position in putting themselves in the center of the ship so that they can start opening doors and clearing out rooms. So we're going to see how this plays out. Y'all get ready for turn number 1, baby.
It's on and cracking.
All right, guys, we back, man. That was the end of our first round. We have to play rounds here and not turns because each Marine is an individual. And man, it was interesting. My Terminator here, Drexor right here, he shot with his Stormbolter at one of the Terminators, one of the Death Guard Terminators that he was fighting, and his Stormbolter jammed. So that was a problem. My Terminator here killed the Death Company Terminator that he was fighting. Captain Leonidas over here just opened the door and came in. The door is closed, and we have some good fighting over here. I have Gimli actually keeping the door open while it for the moment, and this Terminator with the Thunderhammer here. Excuse me, guys, for him being partially painted. He killed the Terminator that he was fighting, and we're kind of trying to block this Death Company Terminator right here and make him kind of walk around the door and make him use some of his action points. And over here we did some shooting, but it was very uneventful. Nothing happened. Plaguewind, on your end, what you got?
Well, guys, I have a couple things to say. First thing is I'm glad to be back. Just playing the game has been a long time. Next, it is definitely different playing in a Space Hulk thing. I've only played it once before, and it was a long time ago. And the next thing is Power Fist definitely work better in Space Hulk than they do in normal 40K. With that last being said, I have my formal complaint. It's not about the game. It's about just the rules in general. Chaos should be allowed to have thunder hammers and storm shields. This is broke. It is wrong. I've said my complaint. Time for turn 2.
All right, guys, we're back. That's the end of our second round, and it is real interesting. We got combat over here. We got the battle of the lightning claws going on over here.
Scratching at each other.
They both went at each other. Both caused wounds. Nothing happened. I've since closed the door, but at one point I had the door open, and I was kind of using it as a shield. To hide behind. We got a firefight.
You did the coward thing. How's that door?
Hey, it's called tactical
Whatever.
maneuvers.
And
And over here, we got a firefight going on over here in this room. So far, I still have 3 rooms that I'm holding on to. And we having a dogfight out here in the corridors. Plaguewin, what you think?
Man, this is interesting. The one thing I like Space Hulk. We had to modify the rules a little bit to kind of work, but I really do like it. It's close, it's in your face, and it's like you're in action right away from the very beginning. This is great. I'm having a lot of fun. Let's just keep the party going.
All right, guys, we're gonna report back. Basically, we have combat over here for this room going on. My sergeant assaulted this Death Guard Terminator over here, and then these guys are still trying to get to the door. They're taking a long time to get the blast doors open, and then we have 2 assaults in the interior of the ship going on right now. We're gonna see how this plays out. And so far, the Death Guard has 6 Terminators dead, and the Flesh Terrors have 4 Terminators dead.
I will remind you again: thunder hammers and storm shields, and is different. We need to have at least 1 unit with thunder hammers and storm shields. I want to protest against GW.
Chaos needs thunder hammers and storm shields.
Absolutely,
man.
But no, it's still good. It's still fun.
All right, so stand by. All right, guys, we're back. We're back, and that was that was the end of the last turn. And wow, not the end of the game. I'm sorry, but I think that was the end of our 3rd round.
Yeah.
So we're going into 4, and basically it has been a slugfest. Let me start over here. My chaplain is holding on to this room because we're doing it. Each room counts as critical territory. And so the one who ends up with the most rooms at the end of 6 turns win. So I'm trying to hold things down, but what I did was I sent Terminators out into the corridors to try to thin things out. And I got 1 Terminator in each room that I'm holding, as you can see over here. And then I have a chaplain holding this one down. I have my captain holding this one down. The Death Guard has this one. And then all of the fighting is pretty much out in the center of the ship. And what's been happening is the Death Guard basically have been winning through attrition because that toughness 5, man, they're just wearing us down. Like my Thunderhammers are doing well. Like I got a guy here fighting in the center. And
damn you Thunderhammers.
The Thunderhammers and Storm Shields have really made the difference in this thing because he mostly has Lightning Claws. And so I've been getting my 2-up saves against his Lightning Claws. And whereas in his case, you know, all I need is 1 Thunderhammer to land. And he has a 5-up invulnerable save. So it kind of gives me an advantage as a Space Marine player with Thunderhammers and Storm Shields where I get that 3-up invulnerable save and he only gets a 5. So it's been working to my advantage that way. But all in all, man, campaign-wise, this thing is like really added a lot of fluff to the story. Plaguewin, what you think?
It's fun. I'm excited. I will say again, we need to have Thunderhammer and Storm Shield. You will hear me say that same theme throughout the course of this game and the other games we play. I mean, the game is great. Like I said before, we're having a great time. It's fun. It were almost even kill.
It's even.
It's pretty even.
It's like 8 Terminators, 8 Death Guard Terminators to 7 Flesh Terror Terminators dead. So he actually, in terms of points, he's actually winning in terms of points because he has 1 Terminator more than I do on the table. We started out with the same number, but I think I have
you have more rooms than I have.
I have more rooms, like I have more territory, but he has the more firepower on his side right now, especially in terms of shooting. The main thing that keeps getting us is our Stormbolters keep jamming. And that's the thing that's killing us. On both sides, our Stormbolters keep jamming, and when your Stormbolter jams, it just screws you. So, and then you have to spend your command points trying to fix those Stormbolters that jam. It also costs you points to open doors. It costs you points to interact with the ship. It costs you points to, to turn. It costs you 2 command points to turn into Overwatch. And all Marines only come with 4 command points in the first place. So you don't. Each Marine is a unit in its own right. So don't think about it like you have entire units functioning. You're all individuals, even though they can they can collaborate with each other to help, defend key locations. But you're an individual, so you're fighting with individual Marines. It's real interesting though, man. It's a lot of fun. So stand by. Next turn coming up. All right, guys, we're back. So that was the end of the 3rd turn, and the 4th turn. So we're down to our 5th turn now, and wow, interesting, man. The Thunderhammers and Storm Shields.
I told you. I told you. It's cheating. It's cheating.
Thunderhammers and Storm Shields are making a big difference. My Captain Leonidas over here has just been brutal in this game. He is.
Let me see how tough he is. Take his Thunderhammer and Storm Shield away from him. See how tough he is.
He has been killing Death Guard Terminators left and right. He is just brutal. So basically where we are right now, I have 1, 2, 3. This one is contested over here because the chaplain is fighting for this room. And Captain Leonidas came over here and killed this Terminator and took this room from the Death Guard. So that leaves the Death Guard with these 4 guys here left fighting in the corridors against Sanguinary Priest Edic, who is just pressing his will against these Marines. Thantos has really been kind of blocked. He hasn't been able to get over here because his Terminators are just kind of blocking the entrance for him to get in and contribute anything. Plague Win.
I know. I ain't got nothing to say. Oh, yes, I do. The damn Thunderhammers and Storm Shields. I'm saying it again. If he didn't have the Thunderhammers and Storm Shields, this would be an entirely different fight. I promise you that. Damn cheap with the damn Thunderhammers and Storm Shields. Telling you, man.
He hates that Space Marines have Thunderhammers and Storm Shields.
And Chaos doesn't. It makes no sense.
And in the sake of this argument, and I'll say this just so that we don't drag this out too long, but I'll say this. For those of you that don't know, all Space Marine legions during the Great Crusade, during the Heresy era, and it should have been during the post-Heresy era, all had Thunderhammers and Storm Shields. If you look at any of the pre-Heresy fluff, all Space Marine legions, every legion, had Thunderhammers and Storm Shields. Now, when the Space Marine legions turned to Chaos and the Heresy began, they did not all just say, okay, we're going to turn in all of our war gear to the Imperium.
Yeah, you can have these back.
You can have these back. No, they kept their stuff, so that's something that really needs to get fixed. Chaos Space Marines war gear is identical to regular Space Marines war gear. Although I would say since going into the warp, Chaos Space Marines war gear, their hammers should be like more demonic kind of hammers, but they have all the same war gear. So for the sake of argument, in that respect, Chaos should have the same stuff.
I want my Thunderhammers. I just want one unit, y'all. Just one. It wouldn't matter.
Anyway, we're going to stop Plague Win from whining, y'all. So let's just
I'm whining. I'm crying. You're damn right. I'm crying. I want my Thunderhammer Storm Shield.
Stand by. All right, guys, we back. And that's
Thunderhammers and Storm Shields. That's all I got to say.
That's the end of our game. This was mission number 7 in our Blood Crystal Crusade campaign.
It was awesome.
It was definitely awesome. The Flesh Terrors have pushed the Death Guard off of their strike cruiser. And guys, I'm going to get a little animated here because I want to show you guys something. This was hilarious, guys. This is really cool. So one of the things that we're doing, like with the points, just to make it fun, is we're allowing our Marines to interact with the ship. So like, if you're in a room and you're standing next to the door, you can actually use your command points to open the door, shoot at somebody, and then if you have any command points left, as protection, you can actually close the door. Now, it doesn't really help you because the enemy can just walk over and open the door and shoot back at you, if he's there. But what happened is, one of Plague Wind's guys was standing about here, right? And what happened is my chaplain, you guys saw in the last turn, the door was open because they was having combat. So at the end of the close combat, the chaplain killed the Terminator, and then when the Terminator died, the door closes. So I have 4 command points left. So the chaplain is standing right next to the door. He pushes the door open, shoots his Stormbolter through the door. The Terminator, he rolls a 1, fails his save to a Stormbolter, and then my chaplain just slams the door in the damn man's face.
Hey,
it was pretty cool, guys. It was pretty cool. It was fun. It was fun. Hilarious. So Thantos just didn't really get into the game. He just kind of got held up. So he was coming over here to fight the captain. We should have probably just played it out just to see what would happen. But
his captain would have won. You know why, don't you? Because he has a Thunderhammer and Storm Shield. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
But actually, Sanguinary Priest Edict is like the player of the game. Even though he didn't really do any fighting, but his presence and him like staying close to the Terminators, being in the right spot, gave him that furious charge, feel no pain that we have, and it really made a big difference in like keeping the Marines alive long enough for the Thunderhammers and Storm Shields to do a lot of damage. Plague Wind, go ahead and close for us.
Y'all know what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say it one more time. I'm gonna say it a little bit slower. Thunderhammers and Storm Shields allowed it. It gives an advantage. Everybody who's played the game knows that. But but on the serious side, I had a lot of fun regardless. It was great.
It was fun.
And like I was saying, that part with this chaplain shooting him and closing the door, that mess was funny. That was fun. That was worth the game by itself.
That was pretty cool.
So, but it's a little bit different. Hopefully, me and Night Cage can play again with something similar or some kind of way where this is maybe inside of doing the same type of scenario where this is a Space Hulk, because it was fun. It definitely changes how you play, and it's a little bit different, and it was great. I enjoyed the game immensely, so it was wonderful.
One of the things that we did, guys, and I know we're probably running this over a little bit, but we're really excited about this. One of the things that we did was we wrote our own house rules for the game, and I tell you what we'll do. In the next video that we do, because this one is going to run over. In the next video that we do, we will go through some of the scenarios so you guys can see the rules that we're using in our Space Hulk game. It's a blend of the board game Space Hulk and 40K. So it's really fast paced. But it's hilarious because you can actually use command points to interact with the ship, and your Marines can use command points to interact with each other. So it is a lot of fun, and we had a good time. We really did. We're going to share that with you guys. You guys, thank you guys for watching. Definitely comment, write, subscribe. Me and Plague Win, whenever we get together, we have a good time. So you guys take care.
You guys have a good one.